Hello, my name is Abigail Chu. I'm currently in Dr. Wong Healy's group, and in this video, I'm going to be giving a tutorial on how to use REDEN for 2D NMR in advanced mode. So I have opened my NHSQC spectrum POKY. I'm going to use this peak for my demonstration. So I'm going to zoom in on this peak using the zoom mode for my pointer. I'll click on this icon or F11 on your keyboard, draw a box around it to zoom in. And then after making sure that this peak is not picked, I will open REDEN using the two-letter code RE. Then this window will pop up. And because this is the tutorial for advanced mode, I'm going to click on the checkbox here to access advanced mode. And in advanced mode, there are the intermediate processing steps that have already been done on this cluster. As users, you cannot change anything, but see what happens in between. This is mainly for troubleshooting if you're not satisfied with your peak. And like basic mode, you can set the number of peaks you think are there. Otherwise, you can just follow the default value. This default value is one more than the local maxima can find. So I'm going to stick to the default value here. And so there are 4 different intermediate processing steps here. First, you have original to see the original peak in 3D plot and the contour of it. The 3D plot, they have some tools here, but the main tool here is the configure subplots. These tools are for the 2D plots. Configure subplots opens a window like this that has sliders for you to adjust the subplot parameter. You can adjust left, bottom, right, top, the width space, height space, and I'm going to reset it because I don't need to adjust anything. And then after adjusting or without adjusting, you can save the figure by clicking on the icon, and you can save it as in wherever you would like and in different file formats. So then for your contour version of it, your 2D plot, you can zoom in using this magnifying glass icon by drawing a box to zoom into whichever region you would like. Click on this icon to pan around to move around the plot, and then you can use these arrows to go back to your previous view or go back to your current view. The home icon here resets to the original view. And so here you have the denoise, version of it. So the denoise peak is based on your contour level of the spectrum, and you can also see the 2D version of it as well. Cluster shows the isolated cluster based on image processing techniques. So what happens here is that if there were other peaks near it, REDEN would zoom in and choose the most center cluster out of the many clusters. And you can also view the contour version, the 2D version of it as well. Zoom gets rid of the empty spot in the plot, so the matrix calculation can be performed faster. And you can also view the 2D version, the contour version of it as well. So next, you have some fine-tuning tools here. Amplitude coefficient is the scale of maximum amplitude. It's the relationship between maximum amplitude and the others. This was given in case the default setting doesn't give a good fit. So you can click on it to change from 0 to 4. And the line width coefficient is the scale of line width in relation to window size. You can think of it as changing the denominator of the window size ratio. So a value of 2 would be 1/2, which is half of the window size. And if you were to have a value of 3, it would be 1/3 of the window size. And if you have a value of 4, it would be 1/4 of the window size. And you can also hover over these keywords to see a more detailed explanation. So next you have the 4 fitting algorithm options in REDEN. They are F-Lorentzian, Lorentzian, Gaussian, and pseudo-void. Pseudo-void is the addition between Lorentzian and Gaussian, and F-Lorentzian is the fast/optimized version of the Lorentzian algorithm. I'm going to stick to my F-Lorentzian. And void scale is the linear combination scale between Gaussian and Lorentzian. If you have a scale value of 0.5, this means that the equation would be 0.5 times Gaussian equation plus 0.5 times Lorentzian equation. If the scale value is 0, the equation would be fully Gaussian. If the scale value is 1, the equation would be fully Lorentzian. And the rest of these options here are the same as you would get in basic mode. So if you're satisfied with your values, which I am, you can click on fit to see the results. So like basic mode, you have 5 options to view your results. Show fit includes the initial figure that you first see, this 3D plot right here. And again, like I said before, for the 3D plots, you can, the main tool is to configure subplots, which opens this slider for you to alter the plot to however you would like. I'm going to reset it. You can also save it by clicking on this icon. Show fit contour. Show fit contour here gives you the 2D version of the plot. The dot and the X here are the max point of each original and fit cluster. So here the black is the original, the blue is the fit, and you can zoom in on this contour by clicking on this magnifying glass icon, making sure that your icon has the plus sign, then draw box to zoom in, and you can see that the dot and the X are basically identical in the identical position, so this fit pretty well. If you want to zoom out, you can go back to previous view or just press the reset original view. And you can also see how well this fit is by seeing the R-squared value. The closer this value is to 1, the better the fit is. And this value is quite close to 1, so this was pretty successful. And the status here also says fit successful, by showing that the fit has been done. Then show each peak allows you to see the peaks that REDENs have detected. So here I have peak 1 in blue, and my shouldering peak 2, is in green. And then show residuals is what you would have left if you were to subtract the fit from the original. And finally, show parameters gives you the fit parameters of your peaks. You have the amplitude value, the gamma coordinates in X direction and Y direction, the skew value, and the bias in X direction and Y direction. And so finally, once you're satisfied with all of your fit, you can import it back to POKY by clicking this button. And as you can see here, it was imported successfully. So this is the end of the tutorial on using REDEN for 2D NMR and advanced mode. Thanks for watching.